Good afternoon, people. Today is Tuesday, December 19th, and I am here with your geopolitical news. Al Jazeera reports Yemen's Houthis will not stop Red Sea attacks until Israel ends Gaza war. U.S. launches maritime coalition to counter attacks the rebel groups say are a response to Israeli crimes in Gaza Strip. So I'm just going to play this clip for you guys.
Well, Houthis in Yemen have released a new statement after reports the U.S. is planning to establish a new maritime protection force in the Red Sea. Houthis have been carrying out attacks on commercial ships passing through those waters, as Bernard was just describing. They say they're targeting ships linked to Israel in protest against military actions in Gaza. In a statement, a prominent Houthi commander has said, quote, any escalation in Gaza is an escalation in the Red Sea, and any calm in Gaza is considered a calm in the Red Sea. They went on to say any.
So it's like if you listen to what he's saying, he's basically saying, as long as y'all keep on continuing the killing of innocent civilians, the bombardment of the Gaza Strip, then the Houthis are saying that they will continue to attack ships in the Red Sea. They will continue to seize cargo ships in the Red Sea. So as long as you keep doing what you're doing over there, they're going to keep doing what they're doing over there.
Country or party that comes between us and Palestine, we will confront it. Hussein al-Bukhati is a political commentator who's joining us live from Yemen's capital, Sana'a. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. Why do the Houthis feel that targeting shipping in this way is the best way to bring pressure on Israel, the US, and other foreign governments?
It's clear the importance of this shipping line, especially after they target Israeli linked or owned ship or ships that's actually heading to Israel. They have warned before those ships not to use the Red Sea, and we've seen, according to some international media, as an example, the Eilat port southern of occupied Palestine is.
You know, I absolutely do not condemn what the Houthis are doing. I actually feel like what the Houthis are doing are well within their right, because it's like, if you're not going to stop what you're doing in the world, the whole world sees what you're doing, then they very well can do what it is that they're doing, which is attacking you on different fronts. And so it's like, how much will we allow this to keep continuing? How long will people just stand by and say, you know what, we're not going to do anything, we're just going to allow it to keep continuing? Hopefully these problems, these differences will settle themselves over time.
Is out of business at this point, and many ships that they were heading toward some port of the Zionist state of Israel in the Mediterranean Sea has stopped. As an example, a shipping giant called OOCL, which is based on Hong Kong. They have said that they will stop any shipping toward Israel, and it's really strange for the other giant shipping company like Maersk and other one from France and Germany. They have declared.
And I don't know if you're watching this video that's into your, up into the corner of the screen, but that's actually a Houthi video showing how they seized the cargo ship. And this happened in November. This was just a month ago. And so they're very tactically trained. They're showing you that this is not even an issue for them. This is something that's very well within their reach and very well within their capability. So they're showing you this in real time.
That they will not use the Red Sea. Actually, they are the one who gonna lose a big, huge amount of money because Yemeni army only declared that they will target any ship that is going to Israel or have any goods to be delivered toward Israel, and I think that has a great pressure.
So understand exactly what he just said. They're saying that they're only targeting ships that are going to Israel. Anything that has to do with bringing goods or supplies or anything of that nature to Israel, they're targeting it. So they're letting you know that as long as you keep doing what you're doing over here, the death and destruction, well, you're going to pay a price on other fronts.
on Israel if it hasn't got any pressure. Why Israel is calling for the international community to respond? Why Benjamin Netanyahu, he said, if they aren't going to respond, we will respond, we will give. Then Germany, Britain, and US a few days to respond. This show you that actually this kind of attack is hurting Israeli economy, and it's really, really simple. In here in Yemen, they have put it. If Israel will lift its blockade against Gaza and allow food and medicine and fuel enter Gaza, and this is actually the request of the United Nations, of the human rights groups to lift the blockade against Gaza. It's not only a request from Yemen. So Israel do that, all that will stop as soon as they stop their attack against Gaza.
The statement that I referred to before.
I absolutely applaud and commend the Houthi rebels for taking action. I absolutely applaud and commend Hezbollah for taking action. I absolutely applaud and commend Hamas for taking action and for still continuing to fight. I applaud these groups.
Said that any escalation in Gaza, Houthis would regard any escalation in Gaza would, as a resulting escalation in Houthi action against the US and Israel and in the Red Sea. What would you regard as an escalation in Gaza? And I want to ask you also about the US plan to increase the number of naval protection ships that are going to be in the Red Sea. Would you regard that as an escalation?
First of all,
I don't see how you could not regard it as an escalation. If they're telling you that they want you to have a ceasefire, if the whole world is saying that they basically it should be a ceasefire, then for you to turn around and say, you know what, we are not in support of it. Not only are we not in support of a ceasefire, but we're going to send more ships and more troops over there into that region. What do you think will happen?
any escalation in Gaza, it would be the continuous of Israeli attack and blockade on Gaza. And any escalation in the Red Sea, it is considered any slightly movement from the so-called the new coalition that the United States is trying to build in the Red Sea. If any interference with Yemeni forces, either trying to take a ship or trying to attack a ship, if any interference will come in the Red Sea against our Sana'a forces, or any interference will target any position or missile launch position inside Yemen that targeting those ships, this could be considered an escalation, and this could actually turn the entire Red Sea into a battle zone. And the big one who's gonna lose from this is the West, and as well.
Wow. So he just admitted that any action, whether it be the continuation of what's happening in the Gaza Strip, or whether it be any movement in the Red Sea, will be taken as an escalation. You just heard it come out of his mouth just now. So any act or any movement will be taken or can be taken as an escalation, and also will turn the Red Sea into a war zone. In other geopolitical news, Al Jazeera reports Russia boosts nuclear forces amid hybrid war with the West. Putin. President says Moscow strategic forces remain at the highest level of readiness as he meets top defense officials. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that Moscow is upgrading its nuclear arsenal and keeping its strategic forces at the highest level of readiness as the West wages a hybrid war against it. Moscow would continue what it calls its special military operation in Ukraine, and all attempts to inflict a strategic defeat on Russia had crumbled, Putin told a conference of senior defense officials on Tuesday. So it's like I told y'all before, Russia is absolutely crushing Ukraine. And I told you that it would be absolutely impossible for Ukraine to win. And so the president of Ukraine keeps going to the West and Western allies, begging for more defense, for more money, for more, just more. And for what? To what avail? Because it's not working. And not only that, I already knew that ultimately. I just sat back and I thought about the situation. I said, ultimately, you know what? If Putin and Russia just get tired of the situation, they get tired of, going through the motions with Ukraine, you know, there's always nuclear armament. You understand? There's always a nuclear solution. And in that instance, Ukraine would be totally destroyed. And so what? The West feels like, oh, Putin wouldn't do it because then he would be a pariah. Everybody around the world would condemn him for doing such a thing. But what would stop him? And so what? So what if he's condemned for doing such a thing when the main objective and the end goal is to win? So it's like all they're doing is pushing and pushing and pushing. And all the other side is doing is pushing and pushing and pushing until we'll either have ourselves in a worldwide conflict or these situations will work themselves out to be what they originally should have been to begin with. So, it's like when you put these stories into contrast and you, like I said, you think about the things that's being done, you watch the movements of these militaries and these corporations and these groups, it should be very clear. The path should be very clear in front of you. You should see it. You should see their path, their course of action, and everything. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. Did you know about these stories? You understand? How does this make you feel? Drop a comment in the comment section, and always remember, stay vigilant, stay safe. Peace.